for each of you, what concerns you about college? Anyone want to go first? What concerns do you have about college?
I'll go first.
Sure.
So the concerns is that but college that I'll truly like be on my own, like not on my own, like I'll my parents still be there, but I'll be like officially, an adult, not grown, but I'll be an adult.
Okay.
I have my own responsibilities, and everything will be on me. And my parents have been doing a lot of stuff for me for like the past, 17, 18 years, and I'll just be on my own and have to do my own stuff responsible for me.
Okay. Good. What about Peyton? What about you?
For me, it's kind of like involves the pandemic. Like, we don't know like how this thing is gonna like change like our experience. So like I'm afraid like what if I don't get like full experience because of the pandemic, like, and I don't get to enjoy it as much because we don't know how long this is gonna be, how long it's gonna last.
Good. Joshua, what about you? Oh, there you go.
I'm sorry, I'm right here. This pandemic, what were you saying? What Payne was saying, this pandemic stuff. I hope it won't slow this. I hope it won't affect my my first semester of college. So I'm leaving this Sunday. I'm moving on Monday. I got my schedule. Classes are all together, ready, set up, and just ready to move in, and I'm very excited. And just make good choices on campus.
Okay. Good. Chris, what about you? What concerns you about college?
I'm excited about starting a new chapter in my life and being successful. I don't know, just starting a new chapter in my life is what I'm focusing on.
Huh? Okay, good. Don?
My concern would probably be just the unknown factors that go into just having that new experience in your life.
Good. Devin?
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
I would say mainly like not knowing like how this pandemic stuff is gonna pan out with everybody coming back to campus. So I just hope I hope that like nobody gets sick or anything, and that we all have to come back home.
Well, all right. Good. Those are all valid concerns. So, and then Brother McCaleb, as soon as we finish this, and I'm gonna turn it over to you. And so, let's go back to the first one. So one of the first ones was concerned about being on your own. So what can you do to kind of help? Again, any kind of uncertainty or something that you've not faced before, there's going to be some uncertainty and there's going to be unknown factor. So what can you do to kind of help prepare yourself to be on your own, to be away from home? Anyone have any thoughts?
Make a budget on how much money you're spending.
Make a budget on how much money you're spending. That's a good one. What else?
I got something to say.
Sure.
It's about time management for me.
Time management. Yeah. Time management. We'll take one more. Anything else on what you can do to help be prepared to be on your own? I'm gonna throw one out. Practice. whether I'm getting ready to, if I'm an athlete, you know, I practice so I'm prepared for the game. If I'm getting ready to give a speech or give a performance, I practice so I'm prepared when it's time for me to go on stage. If I'm going in for a big test, I practice, which means I study and prepare for that. So one of the things you can do is to practice. So even though you may be at home, start doing the things that you would do if you were on your own. Figure out how to get your meals, figure out, do your own laundry, set your own alarm clock, be responsible for yourself. Even if your parents and your family are still around, start practicing some of those things now. Second thing was people had concerns about the pandemic, and those are all very valid concerns. So again, what things can you do to lessen your concern about the pandemic and what you may face with the pandemic in college?
I would say follow the rules that college gives you.
Yeah. All right. What else? Don, what do you think?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Sure. So some people have said they were concerned about the pandemic, you know, in college. So what can you do to try to alleviate some of your concerns?
Well, the pandemic is gonna be the pandemic, so it's gonna be a concern regardless. So I guess you just gotta do what you can to handle it the best way you know how, and just follow the guidelines, and make sure people around you are also following the guidelines, but not being too like, basically, I don't know, just follow the guidelines pretty much.
Good. All right. Anyone else? Chris, what about you?
I was kind of worried um about the pandemic. That was kind of what was bothering me. Because I'm going to school in Atlanta. I'm going to Morehouse.
Mhm.
And Atlanta got shut down like 2 or 3 times because of the pandemic. So that's kind of my worry. But other than that, I've been pretty calm and ready for school.
Well, and so again, I mean, you should be aware of what are the good practices for being safe from the pandemic. Wearing a mask, social distancing, hygiene. So those are all the things that, again, as I think Adon said, the pandemic is the pandemic, but you can do everything that you can do that's possible to protect yourself. And, you know, because, you know, I can say, well, you know, my life is my life and I'm going to die someday. And that's very true. But, you know, if I get a physical and try and eat right and, you know, don't try to jump over tall buildings, you know, more likely that I'm going to live longer than, you know, than if I didn't do some of those things, then my life would be shorter. So with that, we're going to pick up the discussion. We have some other items I want to discuss, but I want to turn it over to Brother McCaleb to talk to you about LinkedIn. Brother McCaleb, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I don't see any bit. There we go. There we go. Kev, I talk to you all the time, so I kind of am going to ignore you and pay attention to the young men. That's what I'm here for. So I'm Thomas McCaleb, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself in just a few seconds. Let me grab my slides. All right. And I apologize in advance, but Kevin already knows this, but I'm in school and working, and I support a team that's across the U.S. and a couple people in China. So I always have a million things up. So I'll do my absolute best to keep us on track. If there's something you want to know, feel free to stop me at any time. This is your presentation. I'm here for you. Hang on, let me figure out how to flip screens real quick. No. That one. Perfect. All right. Can you see the beginning of the slideshow? It says, are you LinkedIn? Can you see that? Perfect. Okay. So like I said, I'm Thomas McCaleb. I am currently the talent acquisition manager. That means the head of all the recruiters for a company called 26 Incorporated. It's about 40,000 individuals across the globe. So what does across the globe mean? We have plants and offices in China, in Malaysia, in Switzerland, in Zurich. And no, I don't get to go there yet, but as soon as our travel restrictions open up, I do go to those locations. We have offices here in Dallas, so one in Sherman and one in Dallas proper. We have one in Atlanta, where you're headed over there in Morehouse. Some in California in Simi Valley, over there where Facebook is, and LinkedIn and all those kinds of places. So what do we do? And I'll get through this really quick, but what do we do? We hire individuals to come and work for us on projects for companies like Apple. We make the laser that scans your face when you use facial recognition. That laser comes from 26. We make the glass in the Hubble telescope, or the Space Shuttle's windshield comes from 26. And you would have never known that if you hadn't got to meet me today. So if you don't remember anything I tell you today, it's take advantage of your network, because you never know who you know, okay? So, like I said, I'm Thomas McCaleb. All those initials after my name mean that I have additional degrees. So I have a master's in business administration, and I have a master's in instructional technology. I'd like to go to school, and I'd like to learn about learning. I'm also a PhD student at the University of North Texas right now. So I know if I don't say it, Kevin will say it. I do these for you guys all the time, and he'll end up flinging it out there. So I might as well get it out of the way. So what does talent acquisition manager mean? It means head of all recruiters, okay? So the individuals that decide who comes in for an interview are the recruiters, and I'm the boss of them. Make sense? There we go, okay. So why do you think, so you guys come off mute. This is for y'all, so I don't have a problem with there being noise in the background or us talking to each other. It's really late at night, and I'm sure you have other things to do. So apparently you want to be here, and I want to be here too. So I want to talk to y'all. Why do you think you should have a LinkedIn account at your age?
For job opportunities.
Job opportunities, okay. What else?
Does everyone know what LinkedIn is?
Yeah.
Good,
Probably
yeah.
like to, how do I say it? Like, get yourself out there, if that makes sense.
Yep. Get yourself out there, and I'll clean that up for you in just a second. But that makes sense.
To
Austin,
grow your network.
Yeah, I was going to say
grow your network. Perfect.
Expand your network and look for other people. Look for other people out there to collaborate with that can help you on the journey and give you, some advice to set up what you're trying to build.
Yep, and set up what you're trying to build can mean get a job, like some of you said, but it also can mean, and guys, I always want y'all to think like this because my brain never got there. So I want to help y'all get there fast. Work with each other. The guys that started Facebook, they went to college together. Bill Gates and Steve Wozniak, that's the guys that kicked off the Microsoft thing. Yeah, they went to college together. You guys are going to college and you already know each other. So if one of y'all has a genius idea, work with each other. Grab an accountant, grab a computer scientist, work together to build something great. together that y'all own. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
not just for jobs, okay? But yes, mainly for jobs. Okay. So that's good. I'm glad y'all got there. Okay. So here's some stats, and then I'll get you into some things I want you to see, because you won't get to see this from almost anybody else. I'm going to take you behind the scenes to that. And we pay about $150,000 a year to use the tool that you're going to get to see today. But here's what's in a job search. 70% of your job search when you finally come out of college, like, hey, I'm ready to start looking, is networking. It's who you know. And you already know a bunch of people. You just are scared to introduce yourself. You don't remember them. You don't ask for their business cards. I want y'all to get into practice right now of writing down email addresses, of building out your LinkedIn profiles, of connecting to people. Even if you're not doing anything, you don't have to, it's not like Facebook or Instagram where you got to constantly be active. You just build your profile, and then when you need us, you're already connected to us. And you'll see what I mean in just a minute. So 70%, more than half, more than 2/3 of your job search is who you know, or who your buddy knows, or who Mr. Burnett knows, or who I know that can help you. 20% is targeting. So you think, oh, I'm just going to go online and apply to a bunch of places and hopefully they call me back. In recruiting, we call that post and pray, right? You just blast out and hope for the best. We never do that. I don't want any job. I want my job. I want the job that I want to do. My mom used to always say, Thomas, you want to do what you want to do. And that's true. I don't want to always do what everybody else tells me. I want to have some choices that I have say in. And you guys are going to college, so you want to have some say. One quick thing about that whole college thing. How many of you are going to have a job in college? Maybe you got to work. Quick hand. Oh, cool. So none of you are going to be working. So all of you, oh, somebody came off mute. Noah, you were going to say something?
I was going to say probably like, if not, I mean, I don't know yet, but I know people have talked about getting a job maybe like the second year.
Okay. All right. So what I would tell you is, so I had a job, I worked 40 hours, all of my time at Ohio State, all of my time. And it was probably a big mistake. If I had buckled down on my studies, now knowing what I know, I could have got scholarships. And you can get more scholarships than you need, which means you have money in your pocket. So why get a job, work on what you're there for, your grades, right? Get paid for your grades, because it happens, and it's not hard to do. And then get the best job that you want, All right, so back to this. So now we know what targeting is. And then 10%, the very small part of your job search, is actually applying. So once I determine, okay, I want to work for EA Sports, I want to work on the John Madden team, what does that mean? Well, that's all networking and targeting and researching and learning. You're not applying yet. And then once you have all the things you need and you know somebody over there, oh, Mr. Kevin's son works over there, I'm going to talk to Chandler. Boom, I got my connect. And I'm qualified. I did well in school. I apply. Probably going to get an interview. Probably. And that's just how it works. All right. So, like I told you, you're going to get to see behind the scenes of a $100,000 tool. We pay $150,000 for 4 seats or 4 individuals to be able to use LinkedIn. And with that, I'll drop us out of this presentation. Okay, so what screen can you see? Can you see a blue swimmer, or you see my LinkedIn?
I see the LinkedIn.
I need one of y'all. You see LinkedIn?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move it over here because I can't, because I'm blind and old. Hang on. Screen. This one. All right, now you see the blue swimmer? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So one quick thing, and I'll hurry up and get it out of here. Remember how I told you when you know people, you see things you aren't supposed to see? Okay. It's a salary chart. Can you see that? Salary chart. Real people salaries. See these numbers? Like those numbers? That's per year. Salary chart. These up here, 2, 3, 4, that's new. That's beginners. Like y'all. So our beginners make somewhere in there. Okay, now you got some data that you never saw. All right, back to the game. This is LinkedIn. You're going to college to get a job. That's why I showed you those salaries, because it's out there. Right now, I did a little bit of research before we got on the phone today. We had 130 requisitions or jobs open in America. So you know the head of talent for 131 jobs today, me. And well, Kevin knows people, and I know other people. You're connected. Does that make sense? We're all connected together. And I want y'all to get used to that. So this is my LinkedIn profile. I'm changing this picture to something in a polo, I think, because I want to be whatever, to attract y'all. Because believe it or not, you guys are who we're hunting for. Everybody wants new, young talent. So if you go to school and do well in 4 short years, and it will be short, you're going to call me and say, Mr. Thomas, I saw your presentation. Hook a brother up. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to hook a brother up if you do well. That's my job. So I'm going to get a good review for hiring you. That sounds crazy, but it's true. Okay, so this is my LinkedIn. Notice, so this is the front of LinkedIn. We'll jump into my actual LinkedIn. So this is the front of LinkedIn. This is the same LinkedIn that you guys will have. It'll look a little bit different because I have some tools that you don't have access to. But I have some pictures that make people interested in me. There's me in a suit. Hey, I can dress up. There's my title, some school stuff, right? Y'all have that today. If you're not volunteering somewhere, you need to be volunteering somewhere. And I don't just mean on the sidelines. I mean, you need to be able to put on your title, student at Morehouse, junior at Morehouse, whatever we put there. Also, right, I'm the head of our youth summer camp. I'm the head of the children's ministry team division, or whatever you guys have, whatever you're interested in. Don't just sit on the sidelines. Get in the game, because your competition, they're doing stuff, and they got a resume that says that kind of stuff. So I want y'all to have the same advantage, and me, so a little bit more than they have. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So LinkedIn. There's my job. I work there today, and it goes sequentially down. So I used to work at JCPenney. I did some things. I worked at a chemical company, blah, 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 right? I worked at Kohl's. I was in the Navy. See all that? Here's my school stuff. Well, here's some more school stuff. Also, no, you want to keep learning, right? All of these schools I went to. Some of these schools y'all know, right? The Buckeyes are the only school you need to know, but that's another story for another time. Volunteer. Didn't I just tell you that? There's my volunteer. Student success, Kappa League stuff that I do with y'all. Because when people look at me, I want you to know I'm not just here for work. I'm a whole person. I care about things, because when I get to work, they're going to say, man, what do you do? And I'm going to say, oh, I do these things, right? I know these computer languages. I know how to recruit people, blah, blah, blah. Also, I'm involved with the Kappa League. We have young men that are in college. I'd love for them to work in our internship program. Oh, Thomas, we'd love to meet them. Connection. Simple as that, as crazy as it sounds. It is true. Okay. So let's do a little math, because that's what I like to do. Where's my calculator? Hang on. And the reason I didn't want to have a bunch of slides is that is just boring to look at to me. Oh, and Kevin will probably tell you too. So also in the fall, I'll start teaching at Dallas Baptist University. It's got my first teaching job as well. So I'm always doing something. But it's what I like to do, not what people tell me to do. Average person has 930 connections on LinkedIn. Average, okay? 930. Where's my calculator? Okay. All right, I'm connected to 1145. You see that? Okay. So if my 1145, all right, I know 1,145 people are connected to 900 people each. It's a million folks. Make sense? So 1 million people are connected to me. Do you understand how I got there? I'm connected to 1,100, 1145 times 900 that they're all connected to 1 million people. What does that mean? Well, this is LinkedIn. The majority of these people work somewhere. So I know 1 million people that work somewhere. So if I'm looking for a job, if I'm looking for a job for you, if I'm trying to introduce you, I can introduce you to 1 million people. Just me. So that doesn't even count, right? So my wife's a recruiter, and she's probably connected with 2 million people, and I'm not kidding. So that's 3 right there. That's ridiculous. So anyway. All right, let's talk a little bit about how you know what you know. So this is the $100,000 piece. This is what recruiters do when they're looking for people to fill jobs. And you say, well, Thomas, I'm going to college. I don't have time for no job right now. I'll say, well, you know, we'll see after I show you this. All right, so this is the search behind LinkedIn, okay? And if I'm looking for something, so I'm a recruiter, so I kind of know my way around. I'll talk to you while we're going. But when I come in here, it's not like that one. I want you to be able to see. Hang on. There we go. All right, so let's say I'm looking for, give me one of your majors. What are you going to study? Just need
Electrical
more.
engineering. Oh.
Electrical engineering. Ooh, and I hired those. All. That chart of numbers you saw, one of those salaries is electrical engineer. Okay, so we're going to say electrical engineer. Okay. And eventually when my internet catches up, right? These are guys that are electrical engineers and ladies, right? But what I want you to see is, all right, because this is what you care about, is intern, right? Intern means no experience, means I still go to college, means I probably can get some help paying for my college. This is interns. If I'm looking for interns, I come to LinkedIn. Okay, so then, well, let's see, what schools do I like? I like the Ohio. Oh, look at theirs, number 1. So then you do that, right? This says, who went to Ohio State? Because that's what we do. We search things we're familiar with. We search things we trust. I can say, show me everybody that's connected to somebody that I know. And this little 3 means I'm 3 people away from you. If I'm connected directly to you, it'll have a 1, right? And I'll show you one of those in just a minute. But if it has a 1, that means me and you are connected directly. If it has a 2, that means I'm connected to Kevin, and Kevin is connected to you. I'm 2 people away from you. Does that make sense? Okay, so if I see a 2, well, I can scroll down and see who I know. Well, I know Kevin, so I'm gonna pick the phone up and say, Kevin, do you know Noah Butts? I'm trying to hire him. And Kevin's gonna say, yeah, he was in my Kappa League, he was the greatest. Hire. Done deal, you're getting an interview. All you gotta do is perform. And it is really that easy. So let's talk a little bit about how I know what I know. So right now, I think the last I checked, 17 million people are on LinkedIn, which is ridiculous, which is why they can charge that much for this. But see this open to work? That means he's looking for a new job. So I can sort this, okay, I like people from Ohio State. I like people that live in Pittsburgh because the job's in Pittsburgh, so I don't have to pay for me to move you. I like interns. I can do all of these things and it'll spit a list out to me. And then I just start looking through and picking the ones that I like because they're all qualified once you zoom in like that. You want to be on this list when I start searching for interns. This is how we find our summer interns. And summer interns make about $40 an hour, about $40 hour. Now you're not going to work, a million hours and you're not going to get rich, but it's going to pay for a bunch of your classes if you do this right. And more importantly, our interns are in the system. So when I start looking at interns first because you guys are cheaper. And you're looking for a job and I already know you because you used to work here last summer. You did a good job. So might as well bring you back if you want to come back. Does that make sense? Okay. See how this is all working together? Who you know matters. Who you're connected to matters. What your grades are matters. Because you don't have anything. You're a kid. And that's okay, right? Do your best. Show your best. I volunteer. I take direction. I'm a leader when I can be. Right? Whether that means, hey, I'm on the football team and whatever, I'm the captain, or I volunteer to help students that are poor in math because I'm strong in math. You want to be able to talk about what you're doing. That's really important. We don't expect you to know everything. That's why they call it a training program. We're going to train you. Okay, so enough of that. All right, so once I figure out who I'm looking for, and let me look for somebody that I know, just so you can kind of see how this all works. Take all this engineer stuff off of there. Okay. All right, so let's say I got a recruiter opening on my team. So I'm looking for a recruiter. I'm gonna see who I can find. She looks good, So wonder who she is. Let's see her profile. And I'll tell you in a second. Kevin already knows this, but I'll tell you in a second how I know Leslie. But it just makes sense so I can show you how it all works eventually. See the number 1? What did I tell you the 1 means? Somebody come off mute and tell me what that 1 means on Leslie's profile.
I don't know if it's directed or if you're one other person away.
Say what you think, because I think you know it.
I think it's one other person away.
Oh, you missed. No, you had it right the first time. Don't second guess yourself. You were dead on. 1 means I know Leslie. 2 means I'm 1 skip away. So Kevin knows Leslie. 3 means 3 away, right? Or greater. That they only go 3. 3 means 3 away or greater. So, all right. So Leslie is a recruiter. And this is literally what we do. Okay, I'm looking for a recruiter. She's got 23 years experience. Okay, she went to Baylor. All right. She went to Alabama. All right, like that. What does she do? Okay, so she volunteers. That's cool. She did something with Goldman Sachs. That's a big deal, I think. I don't know anything about that. Okay. Here's her skills, what she knows how to do. She's got recommendations. So people went on here that have worked with Leslie and said, man, she was great, right? They're not going to go out there. Well, you got to go on here and type this. This isn't something that just pops up. So she's got 15 people that worked with her that said, man, that was really cool to work with Les. I might want to talk to her. So I'm going to go over here and click email and see if she's open to talk to me. Leslie's about to get a job. Now, I know Les because Les is my wife. But it's a good story so you can kind of see how it all works. Does that make sense? Now, let me show you one of my mentees real quick. So this is a little closer to y'all. And I was going to show you one of Leslie's mentees because she's killing my mentee, but whatever. It is what it is. Y'all got to do better because the girl mentees always do better. Come on. So this is Silas. I know Silas. See, one. He just graduated from UNT, 30 days ago or whatever it's been. So he got a job at this Take Command Health Center. The head of Take Command Health Center, his father works at a foundation that gave Silas a scholarship. So Silas got a scholarship when he was in college. The people that managed the scholarship, his son is the head of this company. He said, man, Silas is great. You should talk to him. Job. 70% of your job search, of your intern search, of anything to do with this money thing, when you go to work, 70% is who you know. Got to get connected to people. Got to get your LinkedIn profile up to date. And it doesn't have to be giant, right? It can be one thing today and a bunch of volunteers. And that's okay. We expect that. You're young. So you'll have one job and 6 volunteers, hopefully, right? You can put your Kappa League on there. You can put whatever you're doing. And if you're not doing something, and you hear me say that over and over and over, you probably should be doing something. Okay? Any questions about this whole LinkedIn thing, or how searching works, or how the money goes, or anything you want to know professionally, that I can answer for you? Okay. All right. So if you reach out to me, so one more thing and I'll turn it back to Mr. Burnett. If you reach out to me on LinkedIn, okay, I promise you I will connect to you. And I do not connect to anybody, right? These are guys that want to connect to me for whatever reason, right? This guy sells, Isams is like LinkedIn, it's a system. He wants to sell me the system. I'm not connected to him. She works at Aerotech. She wants to sell me people. I'm not connected to her. If you reach out to me on LinkedIn, I'll get one of these LinkedIn requests. I'll click accept, I promise you. And if you stay in touch with me throughout your college career, when the time is right, I'll make an introduction for you because I will know you. But you got to do your part. You got to go over there and kick butt. Don't be regular. Be great because you are great. You're going to college to win. Don't go over there to be mediocre or regular like I did. And yeah, my life turned out pretty good. Your life could be great immediately because you know people. But that's on you. All right, Mr. Burnett, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Thomas. And before he goes, again, does everyone know how to connect with Mr. McCaleb? All right, he's giving you a really good opportunity, and even if you're not planning to be in a technical field, he knows 1 million people. And so some of those won't be technical. So again, it's just because
the jobs at our company aren't all technical, Kev.
Right.
I got HR openings right now. I mean, we got a little bit of everything.
Well, so again, to take advantage of that. So as we get ready to close down, again, I've enjoyed talking and working with you this summer. I hope you guys go on to continue to be successful. If there's anything that I can do, please don't hesitate to reach back out to me. There's a couple of things I'd like to leave you with as we get ready to kind of close out the program. I always tried to be the type of person that learned from other people. I didn't always have to make every mistake myself. And so, I'll go back to my grandfather. My grandfather had a saying, and it was funny because I heard when they were doing some of the stories about John Lewis, and they were talking about his father, And his father said one of the things that my grandfather always said, which was how he said, knowledge is important. If you get knowledge and you learn something in your head, nobody can ever take it away from you. And that was one of my grandfather's favorite things. And then, like all generations with fathers and sons, you know, sons sometimes don't want to do what fathers want them to do. So my father, he believed something very differently. Not that he didn't believe his father, but he always believed, you know, it's not always what you know, it's who you know. And that's the networking and things that Mr. McCaleb has talked about. So what I've tried to do is combine the two. Is, you know, what I do learn, nobody can take away from me, but you also have to have the networking part of that. And so what I would also urge you as you start to look at some of you going off to college, some of you will be going off to college in another year or so, start making a plan for how you're going to succeed in college. And I really kind of think, you know, when people are looking for people for whatever kind of jobs when you get out of college, they're going to look at typically one of three things. They're going to look at your grades. They're going to look at what you've been involved in, you know, extracurricular activities. They're going to look at what kind of work experience have you had in that field. So, you know, I would urge you to make a plan on how you're going to excel and prepare yourself for when you get ready to leave college. And there's not one way to do that. There's multiple ways of doing that. So, you know, I'll give you my example. You know, I felt I was smart enough that if I wanted to apply myself and put the time in, I could have a 3.9, 4.0 grade point average. Because I figured that I was as smart as anyone else, and it would just take the time to do that if I put the time in. But that didn't really always excite me. So I really decided that, you know what, I'm going to get good grades. I'm not going to get great grades. So, you know, I graduated with a 3.4 GPA from college. But what I did do was I like working with people. I like learning from people. I like interacting with people. So I got into everything that I could on campus. Student government, Black Student Union, you know, the union governing board, every kind of association that might be of interest to me, I got involved in. So not only did I have a good, not a 3.9, 4.0 GPA, but I had a 3.4 GPA, and I had all this experience. And so, and with extracurricular activities, so when it came time for me to look for a job, I had good grades, and people could look and say, well, man, he can really work with people. And so that was my plan for going to college and how I got through college and how I was prepared then to get a good job after college. So you can never do poorly with grades. You can't have a 2.0 and, you know, have some of these other things and that be acceptable, but you can have good grades and have either a lot of experience doing extracurricular activities or have a lot of work experience in the field that you want to be in. So those are things I want you to think about. So I do want to share my screen as we get ready to close out. But we won't go through the whole discussion. But again, you know, we want to talk about what concerns you about college. You know, if you're overwhelmed or depressed when you get there, seek out and ask help. You know, they all have student health. They all have resources for you to use. If I don't understand an assignment, if I don't understand what the instructor or the professor is talking about, you have to be able to ask questions. You've got to be able to make an appointment, go set up a time, go to his office, and have him help you understand. A lot of them will have teaching assistants. They'll have tutorial sessions. Take advantage of it. Don't be too afraid that, well, somebody else maybe will think I'm dumb or I don't understand. Hey, you're only dumb if you don't get help. Don't be a number. And by that I mean get involved and be involved in something. Don't just be a number on campus. Don't be just a number to your professor. Make sure that professor knows who you are. Talk to him after class. Ask questions. All right? You're disorganized. Get some help and get yourself organized with time management. So college success lessons learned, and this is what we covered this before. This is what I've got for some of the recent college students. Be prepared to be on your own. Time management, have a plan. Remember, birds of a feather. If you're hanging around folks and all they want to do is party, or all they want to do is play World of Warcraft, then that's probably what you're going to do. Hang around people that want to do and be about what you want to be about. And again, have a strong mindset. Be focused. There's a lot of distractions in college. Be focused on what you're doing and why you're in college. Homework assignments, this is my latest. If you think that I missed some of your assignments, please indicate that to me like within the next day.
Just finished the last two, by the way.
I'm sorry, what?
I just finished the last two. Well,
Okay, well, all right. That's probably updated as about 6 o'clock Central Time tonight. So if you set up, I will go look. Well, again, closing, again, thank you for participating. And again, you know, my quote for this class has always been, what you do speaks so well, there's no need for me to hear what you have to say. And it's really about what your actions, not what you say. And, you know, as the old saying goes, you know, some things walk and some things talk. But anyway, you guys, again, if I can be of any assistance, you know, please reach out to me, and I wish you all the success. And I know you guys are going to do well because, one, it shows that you put in the time here this summer, even with this class, just to get a little bit ahead. So you guys, again, have a great school year. Do great. Be safe. And I look forward to hearing from you.